The thing that's been on my mind is what comes of the Epstein files in the next 6 months. There seems to be a lot of uh, hiding going on, even more, even though the new administration said that it was going to be released. The FBI director said that before he was an FBI director, said that he would let them out on day one. Of course, those kind of things change because you have to protect certain names and the names certain people, the young people that were caught up in their schemes. So what comes of the Epstein files in the next 6 months, and will they be revealed? I also want to know that. So these cards don't come out, tell us what if they'll be revealed, then we will I'll ask that next question. I'm using the investigation deck for these cards already, so I'm going to see what comes up first. And I'll show you on the screen. The first one is home search for house. Kind of interesting. What comes of the Epstein files in the next 6 months? Ooh, the second card's dark intention or motive. Okay. The third card, stranger unknown to me. The next one is strength, confrontation. The next one is deeply involved or water. Okay. Okay, so as far as I know, the House of Representatives has looked into it. It's been passed on to the FBI, then the Attorney General, who will ultimately make the final decision on what is released. But there is a person who does not want the information released, and they are unknown to the public, the people who know a lot about the case. They are not known to even the people who are really involved in the case, who does not want them released. However, remember the question is, what comes of the Epstein files in the next 6 months? The strength of the pursuing the truth to be released will begin to shine through and flow to us with the necessary names redacted so that the children, many that were involved, will not have to go through another trauma. So the next card is ransom or not, or note left. Ransom or note left. The Epstein is, there is some kind of document that they have not or they may have located, but they are considering what to do with it because it is the whole story of what was going on with the whole Epstein situation. There was dark magic involved. There were child rituals involved. The next card's magician, dark rituals. The next card's the fool. He didn't consider himself a fool at all. He considered himself a very powerful figure that could manipulate whoever he wanted to manipulate through the activities that they did. The next card's DNA evidence. The review of his where he lived and worked and where they all did what they did. There is DNA evidence that is already in place. And I think at this point, the messaging I'm getting is they don't know if they want to release the DNA evidence along with everything else. That might be something that comes in a secondary flow or third flow. I guess they put out one set of flow, but the DNA evidence is proof, and I don't think they're going to release that right away. They're going to hold that back. And then the next card, something was seen. They're up on the screen, so something was seen. There are a number of people who know what happened. There are a number of adults who know what happened. There are a number of people on the fringe, not the ones participating in the activities that happened in the Epstein Files. The people who were associated with them, they know what went on, and they've just never been able to speak. Part of the delay, this is what I'm receiving right now, part of the delay is that the people who were fearful to speak all of those years have been coming forward, and they need to get that information before they start releasing stuff, because once they start releasing stuff, a lot of press, a lot of media will be descending on those people who are on the list and who are associated with the people on the list. And they don't want that onslaught of questions to mess up contaminate what they have so far and what they're getting right now from the people who saw something, knew something, didn't say anything because they feared for their lives, and they feared for just in general losing what they had. They are the whistleblowers. Yeah, and the next card's inside job taken out. That is what they were fearful of. They were fearful of being taken out because there were very powerful people involved in the whole situation. The next card is group involvement. They all knew each other, the adults, the perpetrators, they all knew each other. They all shared they all shared the activity. They all knew who was who and where they were and what they were doing. Next card is wrong direction. They didn't care. They're just obsessed with the vile things that they were doing. What comes of the Epstein Files in the next 6 months? This is talking about the people the perpetrators, they didn't care. They liked what they were doing. And then once they are revealed, they will want to say, oh, I really wasn't there. Oh, I didn't participate. They knew what they were doing. They knew somehow they knew it wasn't right, but they participated because they are vile. And the next card is unaware of surroundings. They are unaware of the people who were involved in the activities in the Epstein Files. They are unaware of other people. They just know their circle and what their circle likes, and they all like that kind of behavior. And it doesn't, everybody does it, the group involvement, everybody does it. And they liked it, and they didn't notice that anything was different because it was their life. But they do know better. Next card, deal organized. Yeah. Unfortunately, the messaging I'm getting is, maybe it's not unfortunate. The deal organized is not with the perpetrators, it's with the people who are coming forward, telling what they know. There is a deal, and whatever that deal comes to be with those people, they'll have to be honored before as they reveal the information. Yes, the information is going to be revealed. And then this card is a repeat offender. It was repetitive. If they're trying to say, oh, I only did it once, yeah, right. It's not necessarily the way I said it. Repeat offenders, they liked it. They participated in it. They craved the vile things they were doing. They maybe a few did it, participated one time and didn't repeat, but the general essence of the group was they were repeat offenders. The underlying card is distraction, not as it seems. Distraction, not as it seems. The delay is not what you think it is. The delay is not to eventually get people to kind of get off the trail and say, oh, forget about it. The distraction is what we had stated before, is that there are people coming forward that cannot, that they need to get their message before the onslaught of the media goes after the trail, the people who were next to or knew about the perpetrators but didn't say anything. The people who the media will look around who of a name and say who's around them, and they'll start onslaughting all of those people to try to get some information. That is something that they're trying to curtail so that they are in control of the final release, or a section of the release. It's not going to be in full. That's what I'm getting at here. Distraction, not as it seems. The next one, drugged or poisoned. All of the people who were violated the young people were drugged or poisoned. And it was the final card is well or funded operation. Over the next card's guilty. So these are underlying cards are really telling another story that the youngsters that were involved were drugged or poisoned. Some didn't make it and they never knew who they were. They just became lost. It's a well-funded, well-organized operation. And those who are on the list are guilty. That is the final underlying card. So that kind of tells another story. Now, I just picked up the next card off the top of the deck, and it says drugs, alcohol, or blood. That was the part of the motive of doing the rituals that they were doing. They used drugs, alcohol, and they were after blood. Let's see what the next one is, just so we don't miss anything. Mental struggle or illness. Yes, they were mentally. The people, the Epstein, he had a mental illness of control and just reveled in his behavior. He just loved what he did. He was very proud of himself for being able to lure people in, lure big names in, lure young people in, and have the perpetrators violate the youngsters. So he was mentally ill, but he liked it. This is sick. He's sick. Anyway, the next card is resilience, slow process. What they're saying right now is be patient. Be patient. It'll come out. Things will be revealed. It may not be all in one lump sum, but it will be released in big enough tranches, is what I'm hearing, big enough tranches to really get the full picture. And then eventually the DNA information will come out. The people who were said us that knew about it, but were afraid to be taken out. Those will come, that kind of information will come later after the next tranche. And then for the final card, I'm not going to pick up anymore, is Emperor, father figure in charge. Now that is, okay, one more. Resilience, slow process, Emperor, father figure in charge. Then the next card is strategy and planning. The emperor can be the president of the United States, and the strategy and planning can be the AG of the United States. strategy and planning with the AG, with the FBI, and following the orders of the president. So there's kind of a few story trails going on here, and it's very clear what excuse me, what comes with the Epstein Files in the next 6 months. It's going to take a little time. We have to hang in there, but we will find out the truths. There will be one larger tranche coming, and then there will be some more information about who knew about it, confirming the people who say, oh, well, I wasn't there, or, oh, I only did it one time. One time's too many, my estimation. And then the messaging kind of tells us that what happened to the young people, that it was well funded and they are guilty. There's no question. It was well organized and it was well funded, and we just have to be patient. Give some time for the people to give their information, give the details about what they knew, when it was happening, and who was involved, and then leave it up to the president, the FBI, and the D.O.G.E, and the attorney general to tell us the information that we are waiting for. And I think this isn't me talking. I think basically what we want is we want those people who violated other people, who took advantage of other people, to have judgment, to go through the legal process and let the legal process decide how to handle them, because this was a very, very big operation. And I think that's what we want, is we want the people who suffered to have their day in court. I guess that would be a way to say it. Okay, so what comes of the Epstein Files in the next 6 months, and will they be revealed? Yes, it's going to take some time, but yes, it will be revealed. It's going to be a big tranche. Then there'll be some smaller groups of information, but there is a lot of information. I'm seeing stacks and stacks of data that needs to be revealed, but it needs to be, those who were perpetrated upon need to be protected, even though they're adults now. They were children then. They still have the right to be protected. And the people who knew what was going on need to be listened to, heard, and in a way protected until from the media onslaught. That's what I'm getting. That's it. Thank you for stopping in. Please stay tuned, because there's a lot more to come.